I am really delighted to be joined on Football Pass today by NBC's Premier League star and all-round football goddess, Rebecca Lowe. Rebecca, how are you?
Oh, it's my favourite intro of all time, Kirsteen. I am fine, and it is lovely to meet you and talk to you. It's about 7 a.m.-ish over here in the United States, so apologise for the bed hair, but, you know, natural look today.
You look fantastic, and I have a lot I want to ask you. You've been out there about 10 years now, well, the better part of 10 years. When you moved out there, the Premier League was it was very niche in the States. You know, talk us through your journey out there.
Football was niche is the perfect word. It was a kind of a hipster. You know, if you knew about it, you knew about it. If you didn't, then you hadn't got a clue what was going on. And all the people who knew about it were this little cool crew. The NBC arrived and said they're going to show every single game. And that's what they've done. And that's what we do. And the marketing that they put into it and the advertising. And I'm sure you guys over there have watched Ted Lasso. I'm sure lots of people have enjoyed the Ted Lasso new show with Jason Sudeikis. That was originally our advert for our show back in 2013 when he was brought on board by NBC to create an advert about why that you should watch the Premier League on NBC. So they put a huge amount of resources into it, which always helps anything. Of course, we know that. And it's amazing to see the growth. I remember in the early days, you would sometimes see a United shirt or maybe a Liverpool shirt, Arsenal shirt. And no joke, Kirsteen, I walk around now my town in California or here on the East Coast when I'm at the studio, and at airports, at train stations, and in high streets, I've seen Burnley shirts, I've seen West Ham shirts. Like it's definitely grown. The numbers are through the roof in terms of steady growth over 7.5 years of now holding the rights. And there aren't many things in terms of sports TV these days that are growing, but the Premier League and soccer, as I now call it, is growing.
Let's talk about football then. What do you make of the Premier League season so far? A very unique season so far, Rebecca.
Isn't it weird? I just think it's magnificent. We were saying in the studio yesterday, can we remember a Premier League season at the halfway stage this tight at the top between more than two teams? And I don't think we've got the research guys going at it, but I don't think there has ever been. There are obviously mitigating circumstances, but bring them on. I think it's made it just so brilliant that there's a new leader every day. I heard somebody on the radio the other day say, well, whoever wins the league is going to have an asterisk next to their name. But no, they're not. No, they're not. It's the same for everybody. So I love this. I just love nothing more than the underdog. So I love Leicester being up there. I love Everton being up there. You know, even Man United are slight underdogs at the moment. So just a change. That's what we need in life. We need change every year. And that's what I'm loving about it at the moment. It looks like relegation for the first time in a long time is a little bit more clear cut, although Fulham are playing well and who knows about Big Sam. So it's been exciting to watch. It's slightly tougher broadcasting it because I'm used to broadcasting 5 games a weekend and now I'm broadcasting 10. So you're kind of looking for the angles all the time. You're looking for the new changes, all the different things you have to present for 10 games as opposed to 5. It's harder, but you have way more information in your head than I normally do, because normally I only have to sort of prep for 5 or 6 games, and now I'm prepping for 10. So I just seem to have bubbling information in my head all day long. But it's good. I'm loving it.
Chelsea, obviously, not in a great position at the moment, and Lampard. There's reports he is under pressure from Abramovich. Do you think that Frank Lampard will manage to keep his job this season?
I don't, Kirsteen, no, purely based on Abramovich's track record. I wonder what they thought they were getting with him. The man had 1 year experience in the Championship. What did they expect? Okay, so he does that first year without the transfer window, and he does brilliantly, as we all know. Well, they knew the transfer window would be a temporary thing, so they knew they were going to give him money. Well, if you trusted him in May of 2020, in June of 2020, when he was buying these players, then why don't you trust him now? So if he was the right man then, why is he not the right man now? You can't suddenly become the wrong man in 6 months. And this is his first blip. My opinion is he won't keep his job, but arguably he should never have been given the job in the first place. I remember saying at the time, this could be awkward all round, because obviously the legend that he is. We were doing the Leicester game and Robbie Earle said, and he's absolutely right, you look at Brendan Rodgers. Yes, he didn't have the playing career, we know that, of Frank Lampard, but 20 years ago, he was coaching. He started his coaching career in the early 2000s, I think, so 20 years ago. So he has had every situation in front of him as a coach. Lampard has had a year, 2 years. He's had nothing in comparison. So how can you expect Lampard to be where Brendan Rodgers is, which is what they're requiring him to do? I don't think you could expect that. So I think it's going to be a sad situation. I do think he'll lose his job. And then the question is, where does he go then? I'm not sure he has enough experience for another Premier League club to take him. I'm not sure he'll want to go back to the Championship after managing Chelsea. So it becomes one of those situations where he couldn't have turned down the job. I'm not saying that. I just wish he, from Chelsea fans' perspective, which I'm not, I wish he'd maybe never been offered it.
Moving on to the FA Cup. So we've got lots and lots of action this weekend, not least of all United Liverpool. And let's hope we don't have another draw.
That was so terrible, Kirsteen. And we over here, goodness me, did we build that one up? And it was that was a tough sell at halftime. I think I remember saying, well, it's not the best. Keep watching. I think the FA Cup tends to release the pressure a little bit. And I'm not convinced that Jurgen Klopp's bothered about the FA Cup. He's not shown us over the past 5.5 years that he cares one bit about the FA Cup. Solskjaer has won it so many times, he understands it a bit more. I go for Manchester United in this game. I think it'll be a better game. There'll be less pressure. It's not being hyped up, of course, anywhere near like it was last weekend. So it doesn't mean as much. Therefore, I think this is why these big games that we hype up don't come off, because they mean so much, not only to us in the media and to the fans, but to the players. And they sense that, and then they sort of play within themselves, I think. So this one won't have that attached to it. So I think it's going to be a better game. I'm going to go for Manchester United. I think Liverpool are in big trouble. I do not like Klopp's verbiage right now. I mean, he said after that game against Man United, he said the priority is to qualify for the top four. I cannot believe the drop in expectations. It's a bizarre situation. He seems a bit rattled. So I'm going for United in this one.
We can't talk about the Premier League without talking about Palace.
If you grow up, as I did, a Palace fan in the 90s and the first 10 years of the 2000s, up, down, up, down, up, down. So to be up for 7.5 years, which is very kindly, nicely coincided with my time at NBC. So I went to the playoff final at Wembley in 2013, which we won, of course, and then I moved to America. And they've been with me ever since. So I do like to take quite a lot of credit for that. Ever since I've been in the Premier League's host in America, that they have been doing well. No, Steve Parish is a man that I thank God for every day that we have running our club. Not only is he a great chairman and makes 80% of the right decisions, he's a great human being. And I don't think you can ask for a huge amount more. And we're at the moment have a good cushion, and we're safe. And Selhurst Park is being used, as I say, he's a great man. It's being used as a vaccination centre. We house the homeless at Christmas. There's so many things the club does that make me so proud to be a Palace fan. I mean, I don't care where they are. I'll love them no matter what. They can be in the National League. I don't care.
Before you go, Rebecca, I know you're a very busy lady. You've got lots to be getting on with, but I do want to ask you about what the future holds for you.
I'm happy, really happy where I am. Of course, in the future, I would love to do different things. I'm doing the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Those sort of things I really enjoy. I'll always love football. It will always be my first love. But to be able to try other things would be wonderful. Who knows if that's in my future. But I'm a mum. I have a 4-year-old and he's my priority. So it's always balancing my career with being there for my child, which, as you know, is not an easy thing for any working mum. So as long as it fits in with my child, as long as I can be there for much more than I'm away for, then I'll be happy.